There we go, first trout. Don't have a lot of time to fish this afternoon, so figure I'd just go for stock trout for a few minutes. Yep, got a decent one right off the bat. You know, they're stocked in about 8.5, 9.5 inches, so if I get any 11, 12, 13s, they're usually holdovers. This one's probably a holdover. He's pretty thick, good sized for a stocky. Yeah, he's real tall in the back, man. Solid 12.5. There's another one. Right now I'm just using two rods, fishing a transition from shallow to deep. Drops off to 14 feet, the deepest point in the lake, or maybe 15 or 16. Drops off real fast though, into cooler water. I'm fishing that drop off, and I'm using just a free line with a little piece of split shot because this power bait's buoyant. Size 6 octopus hook, and just enough garlic power bait to cover the hook. Getting some beautiful holdovers, and that one's a solid 13. Rare that you see one that size for a stocky in a lake like this. There you go, one's running with it. I'm using power bait right now specifically because it's one of the 2 deadliest methods I've found for late season stocked rainbows like this. It's just killer about a month after everyone gives up with spinners. You know, even well into the summer, this works great. Especially with the garlic power bait and with the orange power bait I've found. I've gotten a lot of stocked rainbows and stocked brookies on them. Another decent one. They're also tall in the back today. It's awesome, they're thick. He was going with it real slow at first. Man, you know, even though the DEC stocks 32,000 of these trout in this county every year, including 2,000 in this lake, can still get really hard to catch them later in the season, and that's why most people give up. You know, this is still a great thing for beginners to do though, and parents to do with their kids. So that's why I like sharing these methods in these videos that I find for some hot late season bites. This is when it gets tough to catch them. There's still a lot in here, but you know, they just get real shy and under a lot of pressure this time of year. You know, I don't think I say this often enough, but no matter what I'm fishing for pretty much, I try to adapt each time a little bit and make little adjustments, because there'll be differences even if you know what you're doing. And even if it's pretty much the same trip to trip, there'll be small differences each time. You know, in this trip, they're just a little bit deeper, it seems like, than usual. So I'm casting out a little further, maybe 60 feet, well into the deep stuff. Probably, I don't know, around 15 feet deep out there. Kept a quick limit of these stocked rainbow trout. Didn't take very long. This power bait's a great late season bait, just deadly on them. You know, when they get shy to spinners and other conventional baits and lures. You know, limit here is 5, but no more than 2 longer than 12. I have 4 of them that are just under 12, still real thick, tall in the back, a lot of meat on them for their length, and one that's got to be like a 2nd or 3rd year holdover. That one's a 13.5. Obviously these are all just small trout. I get big trout other places, but you'll have to take my word on it. For a fishery like this, a put and take fishery, these are nice solid trout. Usually most of the ones I get out of here are 9, 10, 11 inches. You know, not this many 12, 13s and 14s. Those are a lot less common, but still, these are a great renewable resource as far as trout goes, because 2,000 are stocked in this lake every year, paid for by your license fees, and 32,000 in this county total. There we go. Trying to sight fish some quality pumpkin seeds while I'm here. They're super spooky though. I think it's because I caught and released a bunch of them a few days ago. These are probably the same ones. Just walking up on them with my polarized sunglasses, trying not to spook them. It's a solid one, 8.5 at least, tall in the back. Nice pumpkin seed. See him? He just moved that like piece of algae out of his bed right there. Trying to just crawl this little bit of night crawler. There we go, finally got him. I was working this guy for like 10-15 minutes. Just trying to crawl that little piece out. He doesn't want to eat it, but he doesn't want it in his bed either. He wants his bed clean, or she does, whatever it is. Now another one, 8.5 or a little over that, but real beautiful colors. Nice solid pumpkin seed. Man, these fish are so shy. Just trying to get an aggression bite out of them. Hopefully he doesn't just carry it out of his bed and drop it by the tail, like that other one kept doing. A lot of these guys aren't even feeding, and it seems like a lot of these beds are abandoned now. Some of them are moving back out to the middle. Yep, I got this one. He was hungry. Not very many of them are hungry. I was hoping to catch more today, but you know, that's the situation. There's just not a lot of feeding and not a lot of bedding still. You know, and the ones that are just so shy. Really working them hard. There we go. Another decent pumpkin seed. That's why I love fish for pumpkin seeds here. I don't get a lot, but I get quality fish. I'm still just catching and releasing all these sunfish today. Yeah, that's a real nice one. I mean, it's not crazy long, probably, I don't know, definitely in the 8.5 to 9 range, but, you know, maybe 8 3/4, but he's super tall in the back. That's why I love pumpkin seeds. One of the things about them, they fill out really well when they get longer, better than bluegills usually. Usually get a heavier fish for your length. Accidentally got a bass. Looked like a sunfish. I just saw the silhouette of it. Just trying to pick up one more on my way back through. Walking the shore still. Shoot. Trying to fish that bed right there, but another bass picked it up. Before I could drag it in front of the sunfish. A bunch of baby bass right on the edge. It's all about that movement. Boy, he ate that in one bite. That's a nice one. I think that last sunfish was just under 9. Like maybe 8 3/4 or a hair more. That one might be a solid 9. It's gotta be. That's a beauty. That's the kind of sunfish I like to see here. Nice, good sized pumpkin seed.